I'll give you 200,000 yuan. Pretend to be my boyfriend. For 200,000 yuan. I agreed to pose as the icy female CEO's boyfriend. I figured it would be easy money. Until her semi-retired chairwoman grandmother actually believed it and began preparing me to be her future grandson-in-law. Then her business mogul father patted my shoulder and said, "You young people, make it work. Get married by the end of the year. You have my support." Seeing Su Qing's face turn deathly pale, my heart gave a sudden jolt. It looked like our act had gone terribly wrong. When Su Qing first came to me, I was gnawing on KFC original recipe chicken in the administration department break room. She sat directly across from me. The air around us seemed to freeze. "Jiang Chi, can you do me a favor?" At those words, I nearly choked on a chicken bone. Su Qing was Shangxi Group's notorious ice queen CEO. She moved like a force of nature, with ice in her eyes. Someone like me, always plotting how to poop on company time. An administration department slacker who refused to grind. Lived in a completely different world. I washed it down with a gulp of ice cola. "What is it? If you need to borrow money, forget it. I've got one life. Take it if you want." Su Qing let out a long sigh. "Could you pretend to be my boyfriend?" I nearly sprayed cola out of my nose. "What did you just say?" She leaned closer, lowering her voice. It was as if an invisible barrier kept everyone from overhearing. "Just play along. Keep those annoying suitors away. Especially Zhao Zihao." Zhao Zihao. He was the marketing department's vice president. His family was loaded. Everyone in the company knew he was pursuing Su Qing. "Why me?" I asked, baffled. She looked me over, her gaze lingering on my greasy hands. "You look least like the kind of man I'd ever like. You're the least ambitious, and the easiest to persuade to leave." I rubbed my nose. "All right, that was brutally honest. That stung. Is there pay? Keep up the act until the initial public offering cocktail party is over, and I'll give you 200,000 yuan. Even the chicken in my hand suddenly lost its appeal. 200,000 yuan was enough for me to coast for years. "Deal." Su Qing handed me an iPad. "These are the rules. Memorize them." I took it, and look. Good grief. There were 20 separate confidentiality clauses. Rule 1. No catching real feelings. Rule 2. Keep your distance in public. No physical contact unless necessary. Rule 3. I looked up at her. "You're not looking for a boyfriend. You're looking for a life-size cardboard cutout." Her face remained expressionless, her icy aura cutting through the air. "Are you in or not?" I answered with solemn conviction. "I'm in." Our first performance was set for a business mixer on Friday night. It was at a 5-star hotel downtown. Zhao Zihao would definitely be there. Su Qing told me to dress like a respectable human being. I dug out a discounted Uniqlo suit from the back of my closet, along with last season's leather shoes I found at an outlet last year. I waited for her outside the ballroom. Then she arrived. She stepped out of a Maybach. Honestly, she looked like an angel, but her eyes were still as cold as ever, like an Arctic glacier. "Remember, act natural." How am I supposed to act natural? Like you're really someone who'd sacrifice his dignity just to fawn over me. "But I've never pursued you." She shot me a glare, her aura in full force. "Can't you use your imagination?" We entered the ballroom side by side. Sure enough, Zhao Zihao was there, holding a glass of red wine, draped in enough designer logos to blind you. The moment he saw Su Qing and me enter together, his expression turned ugly. He nearly crushed his wine glass. Su Qing suddenly looped her arm through mine. My whole body stiffened. I felt countless gossiping eyes lock onto us. "Relax," she murmured. "We're acting." We found a corner and sat down, right within Zhao Zihao's line of sight. Su Qing took a bottle of Evian from her handbag, unscrewed it and handed it to me. "Have some water. Soothe your throat." I froze and did not take it. Under the table, she stepped on me with her high heel. I quickly took it. "Thanks, darling." Not far away, Zhao Zihao's back went ramrod straight, like a rooster ready to fight. "Was that to fake?" I whispered. "Shut up. Drink." I obediently drank the water. During the break, Zhao Zihao came over, just as expected. "King. And this is..." Su Qing leaned closer to me. For once, her icy demeanor softened. "My boyfriend, Jiang Chi." Zhao Zihao's face shifted, but he maintained his polished overseas-educated poise. "I never heard that King had a boyfriend. We just made it official, following Su Qing's script." I said. It was love at first sight from me. I pursued her relentlessly, even swearing I'd marry no one but her, until I won her over. From where Zhao Zihao couldn't see, Su Qing secretly pinched my arm. She meant I was overdoing it. Zhao Zihao sized me up, his gaze brazenly sweeping over my cheap suit. Jiang Chi, right? Which department are you in? Administration. Oh. He nodded, with a trace of contempt at his lips. So, you handle all the odd jobs. Must be tough. Think buying a home will be easy for you someday. The implication could not have been clearer. He was mocking me for being poor. I smiled, completely unruffled. I get by. I can afford to support my girlfriend. Su Qing pinched me again. Zhao Zihao left, his back rigid. My shamelessness had probably stunned him. Su Qing immediately released my arm and scooted away from me. You said too much just now. Didn't you tell me to act natural? I didn't tell you to improvise. How embarrassing. Fine. The one paying the bill makes the rules. Over the next few weeks, Su Qing and I became the company's hottest topic. Jiang Chi, the unremarkable king of slacking in administration, had somehow won over the Ice Queen CEO, Su Qing. Everyone thought it was absurd. It was practically one of the workplace's 10 greatest unsolved mysteries. As planned, we appeared together in all kinds of public places. The staff cafeteria, the gym, and the underground parking garage. Su Qing laid out detailed rules for how I should behave. For example, at the gym, I had to hand her a towel, but I could not stand too close, so our sweat would not touch. In the staff cafeteria, we had to eat together, but we could not actually feed each other. We had to leave work together, unless a target was nearby. Best of all, she emailed me weekly performance reviews. Wednesday gym performance, acceptable. But the way you wipe sweat and handed over the towel was far too deliberate, like you were cleaning a window. Friday cafeteria performance, improved. But you kept sneaking too many glances at me, which could blow our cover. And your stare was sleazy. I replied, I was looking at you to read the expression of the woman paying me, so I could adjust my acting in time. That was the look of a dedicated professional. She ignored me and blocked me for 5 minutes. That afternoon, we took a walk in the park below the office. Actually, we were just circling the fountain. Zhao Zihao and several lackeys were smoking in the designated area nearby. Give me your hand, Su Qing suddenly said. What? Hold my hand. They're watching. I looked down at her hand. Her fingers were long, slender, and porcelain pale, with no manicure. Her hand was clean and unadorned. I reached out and gently held it. Her fingertips were a little cold, like holding a piece of flawless white jade. We walked half a lap hand in hand. Neither of us spoke. Only the hushed chatter of passing co-workers surrounded us. Over in the smoking area, Zhao Zihao's hand twitched, and his cigarette burned his trousers, worth tens of thousands of yuan. You can let go now. I released her hand. My palm was a little sweaty. How was my performance just now? Passable, Su Qing said coolly. Out of 100. A passing score is 60. 1 month later, Su Qing told me we needed to raise the stakes. Zhao Zihao still would not give up. He even wanted to pressure her through the board. We need more intimate scenes. How intimate? Hugging. If necessary, we may have to pretend to kiss. I nearly choked on my own saliva. Does that mean more money? She gave me a cold look, like she was looking at a laid-off employee. I raised my hands in surrender, suffering from my art. I understand. It is a key performance indicator. A new chance to perform came soon after. The company's anniversary gala. Su Qing and I both had to attend. She was giving the speech, while I was backstage hauling gift bags. After the show ended, as the crowd filed out, Su Qing suddenly pulled me behind the curtain. She said nervously, Zhao Zihao is watching from the audience. Put your arm around my waist. The moment I put my hand there, she frowned. Gentler. That tickles. I adjusted my grip. I had to admit, she felt incredible. Her waist was slender. Is this okay? A little higher. What about here? Her voice trembled slightly. Okay. Just like that. We stood very close together. I could smell her delicate fragrance. It was the scent of a bespoke fragrance, like cedar, with a cool, crisp edge. The audience gradually dispersed. Zhao Zihao was still standing there, staring daggers at us. His eyes could have killed. He still hasn't left. I said quietly. Su Qing bit her lip. We may need to pretend to kiss on the cheek. I froze. It felt like my heart skipped a beat. Just pretend. We'll just cheat the angle. Understand. I get it. But this was my first time seeing Su Qing from such a close distance. Her eyes were incredibly bright, as if they held the stars in the sea. Her skin was beautiful too. completely flawless. I slowly leaned closer. She could feel my breath. Her lashes trembled softly, like startled butterflies. Just as we were about to touch, I turned my head. From below the stage, it must have looked like we kissed. In reality, my lips were still an inch from her cheek. Has he left? She whispered. Her breath brushed my ear, making it tingle. I glanced toward the audience. He's gone. He looked absolutely livid. She immediately took 2 steps back, putting distance between us. She straightened her clothes, and her expression returned to calm. It was as if everything that had just happened were an illusion. Your performance was good just now. Thank you for the compliment, Miss Su. So, can I get a little more money? She didn't answer. She turned to retrieve her handbag, but I saw that the tips of her ears were slightly red, as if brushed with rouge. Things began to spiral out of control 2 months later. Su Qing's grandmother, the legendary former chairwoman, suddenly returned to the country to see her. At the time, we were holding a meeting in the office. Actually, she was reviewing reports. While I was playing a game, Su Qing received a call, and her expression changed completely. My grandmother is downstairs at the company. She says she wants to meet my boyfriend. My honor of King's match was left running. Now, meet her. Isn't your grandmother recuperating in Switzerland? She heard I was dating someone, so she came back specifically to see him. I was stunned. This had gotten way out of hand. Meeting the parents wasn't part of our contract, and I was meeting the Empress Dowager herself. One word from her could end my career in this business. More money. That was my first thought. I needed more money. This was compensation for emotional distress. For once, Su Qing didn't argue. I'll give you 50,000 yuan after you finish this performance. Let's go. I stood up, ready to face death without flinching. Time to meet the Empress Dowager. Su Qing's grandmother was waiting for us in the cafe downstairs. She was a kindly-looking elderly woman, dressed in a traditional tang suit. This was what true family wealth looked like. Grandmother, this is Jiang Chi. I put on my most obedient smile and gave a slight bow. Hello, grandmother. I'm Jiang Chi. Oh my, what a handsome, accomplished young man. He looks dependable. Grandmother took my hand. A warm current instantly spread through my body. Are you and our King co-workers? Same company, different departments. I'm in the administration department. The administration department is good. The ones who keep the whole company running. And you're detail-oriented. Su Qing stood beside us, wearing an expression that said, "Where am I? What am I doing here?" I performed steadily from start to finish. I poured grandmother tea, handed her tissues, and praised Su Qing for being capable and beautiful. When I mentioned Su Qing's beauty, I deliberately turned to look at her. My gaze was liquid with tenderness. Grandmother was delighted. She said she wanted to give us a meeting gift. This jade bracelet. You to take it. Grandmother slipped a translucent jade bracelet from her wrist. When you get married, King can wear it. Thank you, grandmother. I quickly accepted it on Su Qing's behalf. This was a family heirloom. After we saw grandmother off, Su Qing let out a long breath. Cold sweat had soaked her back. Your acting is pretty good. You even fooled the Empress Dowager. Thanks. After all, this project pays 250,000 yuan. I have to earn every penny. She rolled her eyes at me, but didn't argue. My grandmother seems to genuinely like you. She said you were honest and sincere. Naturally, I shrugged. I'm a hit with middle-aged women. Oh no, I'm great with elders. She rarely smiled, but she did then. It lasted only a moment, yet it felt like snow and ice were melting. I thought that would be the end of it. But that weekend, Su Qing's father, the man frequently featured in financial magazines, Chairman Su, returned as well. He said he happened to be passing by the branch office and wanted to take me to dinner. Your father is here too? I was sprawled out in my rented apartment and nearly rolled out of bed when I got the call. Tomorrow evening. Jiangning Club. But, that's Chairman Su. My legs would go weak just looking at him. Add another 50,000. It's not about the money. Actually, it is. 100,000 yuan. Send me the time and location. I hung up and stared blankly at the ceiling. My roommate, Li Qiang, came over. What happened? Did Miss Su hire you to act again? I nodded. Who are you meeting this time? The vice president, her father, the chairman. He patted my shoulder, with sympathy in his eyes. Good luck, buddy. Brother. This time next year, I'll burn paper offerings for you. Su Qing's father was nothing like I had imagined. I expected a stern, domineering business tycoon. Instead, he looked like a hearty, easygoing middle-aged man. Only his gaze was as deep as the sea. The moment we met, he clapped me on the back. He hit so hard that my organs seemed to rattle. "You're Jiang Chi, right? You seem sharp and full of spirit. Your position is a little junior, though. But that doesn't matter. A hero's origins don't define him." "Hello, uncle." I politely greeted her father. Su Qing sat beside us, even more nervous than she'd been with her grandmother. Her father opened a bottle of 30-year-aged Moutai and said he wanted to have a few drinks with me. "Dad, he can't drink, and he has work tomorrow." Su Qing tried to stop him. "What kind of man can't drink? Come on, Jiang Chi, have a drink with uncle. This stuff won't go to your head." I looked at Su Qing. She gave a slight shake of her head, but I had already raised my glass. This was 30-year-old Moutai. One sip was worth half a month's salary. "Uncle, here's to you." I drained the glass, burning from my throat to my stomach. The liquor nearly went straight to my head. Her father was delighted and filled my glass again. "My King has been stubborn since she was little. Being the chief executive puts her under a lot of pressure. She hasn't given you too much grief, has she?" I glanced at Su Qing. She was poking at the abalone in her bowl. "Not at all. King is wonderful. She's sensible and caring. Cold on the outside, warm at heart." Su Qing pinched my thigh beneath the table. Her father saw it and laughed even harder. His laughter shook the entire private room. "She's getting shy, too. You young people, make it work. Once the initial public offering is over, tie the knot. You have my support. I'll personally officiate the wedding." I nearly spat out my second sip. Su Qing jerked her head up. "Dad, what are you talking about?" "What? Feeling shy? Jiang Chi, let me tell you. King talks tough, but she's soft-hearted." Dinner lasted 2 hours. I drank about 6 or 7 ounces of Moutai. The room was spinning. I felt like I had reached the peak of my life. The more Su Qing's father drank, the happier he became. In the end, he put an arm around my shoulders and said, "Kid, treat my daughter well. Otherwise, I'll make sure you disappear from this industry." I mumbled my agreement, too afraid to look at Su Qing's expression. After seeing her father off, Su Qing's face was as dark as a thundercloud. "Jiang Chi, don't you think you overdid the act?" I rubbed my temples, feeling the alcohol coursing wildly through me. "Didn't you tell me to make a good impression? I didn't tell you to agree to marriage. I was drunk, wasn't I? Besides, your dad is the chairman. Did I dare argue with him?" She glared at me for a long moment, then finally sighed. "Forget it. Let's go back first. Call a designated driver." We sat in the back of the Maybach. Neither of us said a word. When we reached her apartment building, I swayed as I got out, nearly falling over. Su Qing instinctively caught me. "You can't drink, yet you drank so much. Your dad can really hold his liquor." She didn't let go, guiding me to a nearby bench. "Wait here. I'll get you some hangover medicine." I watched her walk away, feeling strangely unsettled. This act was starting to feel too real. I could barely tell what was an act and what was real anymore. The next day, I sobered up, with a splitting headache, but my bank account had an extra 100,000 yuan. Su Qing sent me a WeChat message. 3 o'clock this afternoon. Same place. Run lines. Our usual spot was a corner of the Starbucks near the office. She was already there when I arrived, looking at her iPad. Yes, she had even turned our dating script into a PowerPoint. What my dad said yesterday. Don't take it seriously. She didn't even look up. I know. It's just acting, right? I sat across from her. For the next few weeks, we need to meet less often. Why? Zhao Zihao seems to be getting suspicious. He said he's never seen us travel alone together. I frowned. That guy's pretty observant. It's a shame he isn't a paparazzo. So, we need more proof that we're intimate in private. She handed me a printed sheet. It listed a new performance plan, including, but not limited to, getting photographed, waiting for her outside her apartment building, her visiting me at the gym while I lifted weights, and us being casually spotted shopping together at the mall. I looked at her serious profile and suddenly wanted to ask something. Su Qing, have you ever considered finding a real boyfriend? Her hand paused on the iPad. What do you mean? I mean, find a real boyfriend. Then none of this would be necessary. This isn't a hassle. She went back to reading. Getting a boyfriend would be more trouble. It would slow down how fast I make money. How do you know? Have you had one before? No, but I've seen enough to know. My friends fall apart over love and romance. It's miserable. I laughed. Are you calling me a pig? At last, she looked up at me. You're an actor, a professional one, and you're a total slacker. So, you won't interfere with me making money. Fine. We began running lines, practicing conversations between couples. All the lines Su Qing wrote were painfully cheesy. Things like, "You look beautiful today. I think about you every moment." They gave me goosebumps all over. Can we make them sound more natural? I protested. For example, "There's a loose thread in your hair. That's far more natural than, 'You look beautiful.'" She thought about it and wrote it down on her iPad. That makes sense. Simple is best. After we finished rehearsing, I packed up to leave. Su Qing stopped me. "Jiang Chi, thank you." I froze. It was the first time she'd ever thanked me. "You're welcome. You're paying me." She smiled. This one lasted a little longer, about 2 seconds, like a fleeting bloom. "See you at the gym tomorrow. You're really coming to watch me lift. MMHMM. And I'm bringing you protein powder. Imported protein powder. Thanks." News that Su Qing was coming to watch me lift spread through the administrative department within half an hour, mostly because she stood out too much. Sitting in the lounge area, she looked completely out of place among the sweaty, reeking men around her. Normally, when our department went to the gym, it was just to enjoy the air conditioning. But once she sat down there, all the men in our department got nervous and started pretending to work out hard. "Jiang Chi, what's going on?" a coworker asked me. "Are you two really dating?" I lifted my dumbbells, not knowing how to answer. During a break, Su Qing actually walked over carrying a tub of protein powder. Every eye in the gym focused on us. "This is for you." She held it out to me. I took it, my palms drenched in sweat. "Thanks." She took out a tissue. "Wipe your sweat." She was laying it on way too thick. I could barely keep up. "You really don't need to. I've got a towel." She signaled with her eyes for me to look behind me. I turned and saw Zhao Zihao standing at the gym entrance, watching us. He held a bottle of sports drink. I got it. I took the tissue, wiped my sweat, then handed it back to her. "If you're tired, take a break." She didn't say it loudly, but everyone nearby heard. A guy on the treadmill beside us nearly fell off. I worked especially hard for the rest of the workout. Su Qing stayed seated there, occasionally looking down to reply to WeChat messages, but watching me most of the time. Every time I finished a set, she would nod. She made it look completely real. When the workout ended, I was exhausted. My co-workers egged me on to treat them to barbecue, though all their eyes kept darting towards Su Qing. "I'm leaving first." She came over. "We'll chat on WeChat tonight." The moment she disappeared through the door, all my co-workers surrounded me. "Come clean and we'll go easy on you." "When did this happen?" "You kept it well hidden." "Jiang Chi, you actually landed the female CEO." I scratched my head, unsure how to explain the 300,000 yuan acting fee. In the end, all I could say was, "Well, we only made it official recently." "Not bad." A coworker slapped my back. "How did you win her over?" I just refused to give up. That was the original script. If I remembered correctly, on my way back to my rented apartment, I received a WeChat message from Su Qing. "You did very well today." Zhao Zihao should believe it now. He was so angry he crushed his drink bottle. I replied with an okay hand gesture. Then I put down my phone. But I felt oddly empty inside. According to the plan, intimate photos of us were supposed to leak next. Su Qing arranged for her assistant to seemingly catch us walking through the zoo. The angle was carefully chosen, making it look as though we were kissing. But it was just a trick of perspective. Su Qing and I had been discussing why the monkey in the tree had such a red butt. The photo spread like wildfire through the company chat. Su Qing showed me the reactions. Shocking. CEO Su Qing actually got together with Jiang Chi from administration. They do look good together. A bossy CEO and her cute younger guy. What's so great about Jiang Chi, other than being fairly handsome? I rubbed my nose. My reputation was taking a nosedive. How was I supposed to survive in administration now? Su Qing chuckled softly over WeChat. "I'm the one getting the raw deal here. I'm CEO Su, after all." "True. Your icy image is ruined. Get lost." After closing WeChat, I stared at that photo for a long time. It really was well taken. The lighting and angle were perfect. It looked completely convincing, like we were a match made in heaven. I saved the photo. Li Qiang leaned over to look. "Buddy, tell me the truth. Are you two for real or not?" "You tell me." "I think it's real." "Someone like CEO Su. If she didn't truly like you, would she keep up this act for so long?" "She's a workaholic." I said nothing. Sometimes, I couldn't tell anymore either. Friday night. Su Qing invited me out for barbecue at a street-side eatery. It wasn't part of the script. When I arrived, she had already ordered. She even remembered I loved insanely spicy food. What's the occasion? An extra scene. A thank you for your performance. She opened a bottle of beer. You've worked hard these past few weeks. I felt a little flattered. It's what I should do. I'm being paid for it. She poured me a drink. Though she wasn't very practiced at it, quite a bit of foam spilled over. We ate and talked. At first, we stuck to the topics from our script, but gradually, we drifted off track. We started sharing embarrassing stories from before we started working. She said that as an intern, she once forgot to save a presentation and cried all night. I told her that in my first interview, I spilled water all over the interviewer. I endured that embarrassment for a whole month. She laughed so hard she doubled over. She was nothing like the icy CEO she usually was. Jiang Chi, you're pretty interesting. So are you. Under the street eatery's lights, her eyes sparkled. They were brighter than the stars above. For one brief moment, I wanted to ask, could we turn this act into something real? But I never asked. On the way back to the apartment, we passed a coffee shop. She suddenly stopped. What if what? Never mind. Let's go. I watched her walk ahead, about to call a cab. Suddenly, I thought, I wish this walk could have lasted longer. Everything changed on a Saturday morning. I got a call from Su Qing. Her voice was thick with tears. Jiang Chi, can you come to the hospital? My heart lurched. What's wrong? It's not me. My grandmother's heart condition has flared up. She wants to see you. When I rushed to the hospital, Su Qing stood outside the intensive care unit. Her eyes red-rimmed. What happened? An old condition. She needs rest. Her voice trembled. She keeps talking about you. She says she wants to see you before surgery. I froze. We still have to keep acting. She looked up at me. Her eyes filled with a helplessness I'd never seen before. Please, just this once. I nodded and agreed. In the hospital room, Grandma lay in bed, pale, with tubes attached all over her body. When she saw me, she forced a smile. Jiang, you're here. Grandma, how are you feeling? I walked over and naturally took her hand. Su Qing stood at the foot of the bed, her head lowered. I'm fine. It's nothing serious. Grandma patted my hand. I just can't stop worrying about King. Grandma, Su Qing choked out. Jiang, I know you're a good man. You may not have much money, but you have a good heart. From now on, be a little more accommodating with King. She's stubborn, but soft-hearted. Hearing that, I said, don't worry, Grandma. I'll take good care of King. Good. The doctors came in to prepare for surgery. So, we had to leave. In the hallway, Su Qing leaned against the wall, her shoulders trembling slightly. I hesitated, then wrapped my arms around her. She stiffened, then buried her face against my shoulder. She'll be okay. She said nothing, but I felt tears soaking my shoulder. 3 hours later, the surgery ended successfully. The doctor said she was stable for now. After a few days of observation, she could move to a regular room. Su Qing let out a long breath. Her legs gave out, and I quickly caught her. Thank you, she said. I couldn't have done this without you today. Of course. She looked at me, but left her words unfinished. Then her phone rang. After the call, her expression changed. Zhao Zihao knows too. He says he knows the lead surgeon and can arrange a private VIP room. I frowned. How did he find out? I don't know, but he's already on his way. We looked at each other. This was trouble. Zhao Zihao didn't just show up. He brought that renowned specialist with him, making quite an entrance, and headed straight for the hospital director's office. Su Qing tried to stop him, but I held her back. He's trying to help. Don't embarrass him. She frowned, but said nothing more. When Zhao Zihao came back out, he looked smug. King, it's all arranged. The private VIP room has been cleared out. The specialist says post-surgery recovery is crucial. Thank you. Don't mention it. Zhao Zihao glanced at me with a pointed look. At a time like this, connections and resources are what matter. I said nothing. Grandma was moved to the private VIP room. The conditions were indeed much better. It was like a 5-star hotel suite. Zhao Zihao stayed in the room, eager to please in every way. He peeled apples and poured water, acting more like her boyfriend than I did. Su Qing looked deeply uncomfortable, constantly glancing at me. I stood by the window, watching the bustle of traffic and people below. Su Qing called to me. Could you get some porridge? Grandma might get hungry later. Okay. Zhao Zihao immediately said, I'll go. I know a Michelin-rated place that serves porridge. I'll go. I insisted. I know what flavor Grandma likes. That was true. We talked about it over tea last time. When I returned with the porridge, Zhao Zihao was still there, sitting beside Grandma's bed and talking to her. I set the porridge on the table. Grandma, have some while it's hot. Grandma smiled and nodded. Zhao Zihao stood and said to me, Jiang Chi, let's talk outside. On the hospital rooftop, a soft breeze drifted past. Zhao Zihao lit a cigarette. Name your price. Leave Su Qing. How much do you want? I laughed. You think we're just putting on an act? He blew out a ring of smoke. Qing doesn't like your type at all. You're a nobody reaching for someone far above you. Then what type do you think she likes? At least someone like me. He raised a brow. Someone from an equal background. An elite with an overseas education. Someone with a bright future. Does she know you're this full of yourself? Zhao Zihao's face darkened. Don't push your luck. Believe me, I can make sure you can't stay in the city. I stepped closer. Zhao Zihao. Who Su Qing chooses is her decision. Neither of us gets to decide for her. And one more thing. This is a hospital. No smoking. She's just confused for the moment. Then tell her that. Why are you telling me? He was left speechless and shot me a vicious glare. When we returned to the room, Grandma was already asleep. Su Qing looked at me, then at Zhao Zihao. What did you to talk about? Nothing, I said. Just guy talk. Zhao Zihao gave a cold snort. Qing, I'll come see Grandma again tomorrow. Then he left. Only Grandma asleep, and the two of us remained. Su Qing pulled me outside. Did he say something to you? He told me to name my price. She rolled her eyes. What did you say? I said I'd have to discuss that with you, since you're paying more. She finally smiled. Jiang Chi, you're actually pretty funny sometimes. Thanks for the compliment. After a moment of silence, she suddenly said, what if we kept this act going? My heart suddenly began to race. What do you mean? She lowered her head, staring at the floor. A nurse came by on rounds, interrupting us. When the nurse left, it was as if that topic had never come up. The day Grandma was discharged, Su Qing and I went to pick her up together. The old woman had recovered very well. Her complexion was much rosier. After we finished the paperwork, Su Qing went to get the driver. Grandma and I waited at the entrance. Zhang, thank you so much for this. You're too kind, Grandma. It was the least I could do. She looked at me, her gaze gentle. Qing has always been strong-willed since she was little. Ever since becoming president, she keeps everything bottled up inside. I know, but she's different with you. Grandma smiled. Whenever she mentions you, her eyes light up. That's a sign she's truly fallen for you. I froze. Grandma, actually, the words reached my lips, but I swallowed them back. Telling her the truth now would be too cruel. The car Su Qing called arrived. We helped Grandma inside. On the way back to the villa, Su Qing asked me, what did my grandma say to you? She said your eyes light up. Her face instantly flushed red. What nonsense. Su Qing pinched my arm, but not hard. After I dropped her off outside her apartment, I was about to hail a cab when she called after me. These past few weeks. Thank you. How many times have you thanked me already? If you're really grateful, pay me more. She did not smile. Instead, she looked at me seriously. If there hadn't been that 200,000, would you still have helped me? My heart gave a sharp jolt. What did she mean by that? For example, if a coworker simply asked you for help, would you say yes? I thought about it. Probably. After all, your pinches hurt. I wouldn't dare refuse. She finally smiled, though her eyes held a trace of disappointment. I'm going. I watched her walk into the apartment building, then stood there for a long time. My phone buzzed. It was a message from Su Qing. My parents are treating you to dinner next week. To thank you. One final performance. I stared at the words. One final performance. My heart sank. Was it really ending this soon? Dinner was set for the weekend. The day before, Su Qing sent me detailed instructions for our act. A full 3-page Word document. Remember, natural but don't overdo it. Sincere, but not cheesy. Do not mention the initial public offering. Do not mention going public. Especially do not mention money. I sighed at my phone. Boss, this is a tough line to walk. Harder than writing an annual report. Once the act is over, I'll settle up. The remaining payment is 300,000. I looked at the number, my finger hesitating. Got it. Su Qing's father chose the venue. The city's most luxurious private restaurant. A private room. Quiet, with excellent soundproofing. When I arrived, they were already there. Su Qing's mother was a gentle, elegant society lady. She smiled and waved me over to sit beside her. Su Qing's father was as hearty as ever, sliding a cup of tea straight toward me. Zhang, give it a try. Excellent tea. Su Qing sat across from me, wearing a light-colored dress. Her expression was calm, but her eyes held a faint, barely noticeable tension. Hello, Uncle and Annie. How is Grandma recovering? Very well, very well. Thanks to you and Qing taking care of her. Su Qing's mother took my hand and gently patted it. The dishes arrived quickly. The table was filled with abalone, sea cucumber, shark fin, and fish maw. The mood at the table was warm. I followed the script to the letter, serving Su Qing the dishes she liked, ladling soup for her mother, and discussing the economy with her father. I struck exactly the right balance, until Su Qing's father set down his wine glass and cleared his throat. Zhang, we invited you both here today, not only to thank you, but to discuss something else. My heart tightened as I turned to Su Qing. Her fingers tightened slightly around her chopsticks. You will both be done with this busy period soon. As for the future, what are your plans? The ultimate soul-searching question. Su Qing lightly kicked me under the table. I set down my chopsticks and sat up straight. Uncle, I am only an employee in the administrative department right now, but I plan to work hard and earn a promotion soon. The beginning may be difficult, but I will give it my all. That's sensible. Very good. Su Qing's father nodded, then looked at Su Qing. And you, Qing. Once I finish the initial public offering, I plan to study abroad for a while. Su Qing's answer was brief and direct. Then, what about you two? The private room fell silent. Even the air seemed to freeze. I took a deep breath and gave the answer Su Qing and I had rehearsed the night before. Uncle, Qing, and I have discussed it. We both feel our careers are just beginning. For now, work needs to come first. As for our relationship, we will let things develop naturally. Once things are stable, we can consider the next step. After all, romance can distract from making money. It was a flawless answer. It showed our ambition to prioritize our careers, without closing the door on the future. Su Qing's mother looked at me, then at her silent, downcast daughter. She sighed, but her eyes were understanding. All right, young people have minds of their own. But then she changed tack, looking at both of us. No matter what, supporting each other matters most. Qing, Zhang is a good man. You should cherish him. Su Qing raised her head and darted a quick glance at me. Then she nodded to her mother. I know. We made it through dinner without disaster. After seeing her parents off, Su Qing and I stood outside the private restaurant. We both sighed in relief. How did I do just now? I asked. You exceeded expectations, and you kept your cool. That was her assessment. A faint curve touched her lips. As for the remaining payment, I will send it tomorrow. It was a pleasure working with you. I held out my hand. She looked at it, hesitating for a moment, before gently shaking it. It was a pleasure working with you. Her hand was soft, with a trace of coolness. We let go at once. The money arrived. 300,000. Not a cent short. I stared at the extra digits in my bank account, but felt none of the excitement I had expected. Li Qiang leaned over for a look and cried out, Holy crap, boss who gave you that? That is not an acting fee. It is practically what? A dowry, right? He waggled his eyebrows. Get lost and get back to work. I put away my phone, my thoughts a little tangled. The act was over. The money was in my hands. By all rights, I should have gone back to my ordinary, lazy life. So, why did it feel like something was missing? That afternoon, I went to Starbucks and instinctively headed for my usual corner. Someone was already sitting there. After a brief pause, I realized that used to be Su Qing's and my regular spot for our act. While getting food in the cafeteria, I saw a fried chicken leg and remembered when she first came to see me. I had been eating one, with grease all over my hands. Whenever I passed the gym, I would unconsciously glance toward the lounge area. Damn, I think I was getting caught up in the act. Su Qing seemed to be the same. She began occasionally sending me messages unrelated to our act. We had the weekly meeting this week. You did not come. Or she would message me, that barbecue place at the night market has closed. Then, one night at midnight, she sent me a blurry photo of the moon. There was no text at all. I replied, "The moonlight is nice. Perfect for sleeping." She did not reply again. Zhao Zihao seemed to have given up completely. He never showed up again. The gossip about us at work was gradually replaced by news of new projects. Everything returned to how it had been, until 1 week before the initial public offering reception. Su Qing came to see me again. She waited for me downstairs from the administrative department. "Another script. What are we playing this time?" "Meeting the ancestors," I joked. She shook her head and handed me an exquisitely wrapped gift box. "This is for you." I took it. It was a little heavy. "What is this?" "A gift to celebrate the initial public offering. Thank you for all your help lately." I opened the box. Inside was a rather expensive watch. It was the one I had mentioned wanting, but never bought because it was too expensive. Something deep inside me gave a gentle jolt. "This is too much. It is only right." She looked at me, her gaze very serious. "We are still friends, right?" "Of course. We have always been friends." I held the box close, staring intently at her. She smiled. It was an easy smile, free of any burden. "That is good then. I wish you every success." She turned and left, her hair swaying softly. I watched her retreating figure until she disappeared into the elevator. I lowered my head and looked at the watch in my arms. This act, was it really over? Or had it never ended at all? The initial public offering reception ended. The bell had been rung. Photos had been taken. Red envelopes had been handed out. After all the clamor, the crowd gradually dispersed. Holding my new employee badge, proof that I had finally been promoted, I stood at the entrance to the banquet hall, watching colleagues celebrate, hug, and say goodbye in small groups. Li Qiang slapped me hard on the back. "Buddy, when you make it big, keep in touch. Do not forget me when you are rich." "You got it." He left with his girlfriend. I stayed where I was, feeling a little lost. A familiar voice called out. I turned around. Su Qing stood a short distance away. Under the lights, she held a glass of champagne too. With a faint smile, "You have not left yet?" I asked. "I was waiting for you." I paused, startled. Then I walked over. "Is something wrong? Have dinner with me." "It is not an act, just dinner." "Sure." I pushed down the flutter in my chest and tried to sound natural. "What do you want to eat?" "My treat. That barbecue place from last time has reopened. We went to the night market." Sure enough, the barbecue place was open again. The owner even remembered us. "Well, if it isn't the young couple done with the big project, congratulations. I heard your company went public." Su Qing's cheeks flushed slightly. She neither confirmed nor denied it. "We ordered much the same as last time, except this time, we did not get beer. We had cola instead." "Have you decided where you are going?" she asked. "The overseas branch. That is good. It suits you." A silence fell. Only the skewers sizzled on the grill. "Jiang Chi, what are you planning to do with that 300,000? Save it, or buy a car?" "I have not decided yet." I looked at her. "Just wondering." She lowered her head, gently prodding the grilled chives on her plate with a bamboo skewer. "Su Qing." I set down my cola. "The act is over. We are friends now, right?" "So, between friends, can we be honest with each other?" She raised her head. Her eyes flickered. Then she nodded. I hesitated, then gathered my courage. "Was there ever a moment, even for a second, when you thought making our fake relationship real would not be so bad?" She stared at me, her eyes wide, her cheeks visibly reddened. Just then, the owner arrived carrying fresh skewers. "Here we go. Your grilled wings. A little charred. Just how you like them, right?" We both lowered our heads at once. The atmosphere turned awkward. The owner set down the plate and left. Su Qing picked up a grilled wing and held it out to me. "Eat up. It will not taste good once it gets cold." I took the wing, sighing inwardly. She had avoided the question. By the end of dinner, I still had no answer. Like ordinary friends, we talked about our career plans, complained about strict bosses, and reminisced about the past few years at work. We deliberately avoided every topic about our act. When we parted, at the intersection, "I fly overseas tomorrow," she said. "Me too. I start at my new department tomorrow. Then goodbye." She turned to hail a taxi. "Su Qing." I looked at her, suddenly wanting to ask her everything. But maybe it did not need to be said. "Keep in touch." I smiled. She smiled too, and nodded. "Okay." This time, she really left. She did not look back. I watched the taxi become a streak of light, vanishing around the corner. Life after the reception settled into a routine. I went to work and prepared reports, traded boasts with my coworkers, and occasionally went to an internet cafe with Li Qiang. Su Qing seemed very busy. She updated her social media now and then, with posts about overseas projects or scenery. We were like two lines that had crossed, stretching on in separate directions. Until a month later, when I received a call from an unknown number. Is this Jiang Chi? This is Zhao Zihao. I froze for a moment. What is it? Come out and talk. Do not worry. I am not looking for trouble. We met at a coffee shop. Zhao Zihao wore a custom-made suit, looking polished and smug. He seemed to be doing well for himself. What did you want with me? I stirred the coffee in front of me. Did Su Qing come looking for you? He asked bluntly. I frowned. No, we have not spoken since the reception. He paused, seemingly surprised. She has not contacted you. She turned down the overseas branch position. She told her family she was moving to another city to start a business. Her parents are frantic. They thought she had left with you. My heart sank. What do you mean? I mean, it looks like she ran off alone. Her parents cannot reach her. They only know the last person she saw was likely either you or me. She definitely has not come to me. So I came to ask you. I immediately took out my phone and messaged Su Qing. No response. I called her. Her phone was off. When did she disappear? 3 days ago. She left after a huge fight with her mother because she did not want to go overseas, but her mother thought it would be better for her career. My thoughts were a mess. This was not like Su Qing. She was so composed, so methodical. Unless those performances, those ambiguous moments, those questions she never answered, hid pressures and struggles I knew nothing about. I understand. I stood up. Let me know if you hear anything. Where are you going? To find her. There were not many places I could think of. She did not have any especially close friends, and she only frequented a few places. The office, near her old apartment, and that barbecue place. I took leave from work, then rushed to her old apartment first. The security guard said she had moved out the day before yesterday. Then I went back to the office. I checked Starbucks, the park, and the gym. Nothing. As night was falling, with my last shred of hope, I went to the open-air barbecue place. There were not many people inside. The owner was grilling skewers. Sir, have you seen a girl around here recently? She is pretty, about this tall. She used to come here with me, I said, gesturing. The owner looked up at me. Your girlfriend? Yes, I saw her. She came last night. Alone. She sat there eating for ages. He pointed toward a corner table. My chest tightened. Did she say anything? Or did she seem any particular way? She did not say much. Just ordered some food. She seemed a little unhappy. I even asked why you had not come. She did not answer. Thank you, sir. I rushed out of the barbecue place and stood on the bustling street, watching the crowd stream past. I felt utterly helpless. The city was so huge. I forced myself to calm down and thought of where she might have gone. She had said she wanted to go overseas because she liked quiet places. Could she have? I took out my phone and searched for quiet places and old buildings in the city. Then I checked them one by one. 2 hours later, on a park bench beside an abandoned library, I saw that familiar figure. She sat on the bench, leaning against the backrest. Asleep? An open book lay across her knees, with a small suitcase at her feet. The streetlight fell across her face, revealing clear tear tracks. I walked over slowly, then crouched down, and softly called her name. Su Qing. Her eyelashes trembled. She slowly opened her eyes. When she saw me, she froze for a moment, then looked exhausted and faintly aggrieved. Jiang Chi. How did you find me here? I guessed. I looked at her. Why did you leave without saying goodbye? She lowered her head, her fingers curling inward. I had a huge fight with my mom. She wants to give me nothing but the best. Overseas. An arranged marriage. I cannot bear that future. So you ran away. I did not know where else to go. Her voice was barely audible. That 300,000 yuan, and everything I gave you afterward. I saved it myself. I only wanted to be independent. But once I actually left, I realized being independent is so hard. Why did you not come to me? I asked. She looked up. Her eyes were wet with tears. The act is over. Who am I supposed to be when I come to you? Your former sponsor? Your friend? I said. Is that not what we agreed? She said nothing. The park was quiet. Only the wind rustling through the leaves could be heard. I looked at the suitcase by her feet. Come on. Where to? First, let us find you a hotel. Then, you can take your time deciding where to go. I held out my hand to her. She looked at it, just as she had outside the private dining restaurant that day. But this time, she did not hesitate. She gently placed her hand in my palm. I closed my hand around hers, giving it a gentle squeeze, and pulled her to her feet. I found her a temporary apartment near my office. Once she was settled in, it was nearly midnight. Stay here for now. Take your time with the startup. If you need money, tell me. I handed her the key card. She stood in the middle of the living room, her head lowered. Jiang Chi, I owe you again. Between friends, we do not keep score. She looked up, her gaze conflicted. Just friends? My heart skipped a beat. What do you think? She took a step closer, until she was right in front of me. I think that act, I may have messed it up too. Meaning, she drew a deep breath, as if summoning every last bit of courage. I think, I turn our act into something real. I fell for you. Time seemed to stop. I looked at her flushed cheeks and determined eyes. That empty place in my heart was filled in an instant. Funny. I heard the smile in my own voice. I feel the same. Her eyes suddenly lit up, as though they held the stars. Since when? Maybe when you pinched my arm. Or when you cried at the hospital. I cannot remember exactly. I answered honestly. What about you? Maybe when, in front of my dad, you bragged that you could support me. She tilted her head slightly, a smile curving her lips. We looked at each other, and both laughed. So, I leaned closer. What does that make us now? She paused, her voice soft. A trial period. Do I get paid? No. Any perks? That depends on your performance. I lowered my head and kissed her. This kiss was no longer a camera trick, and no longer part of an act. It was real and warm, tasting of barbecue and the faint salt of tears. It was a life that belonged only to us. After a long while, we finally pulled apart. Her cheeks were crimson, and her eyes shone brilliantly. This time, we do not have to pretend. I know. I took her hand, our fingers intertwined. Just be yourself. Su Qing moved into her newly rented little apartment. We began a real relationship. No script, no payment, just feeling straight from the heart. Whenever I worked late, she would bring homemade lunches, sometimes a little burnt, to my office. On weekends, I would take her all over the city, visiting every bookstore and cafe. We ate barbecue together at street-side stalls, with no need to watch for an audience anymore. Her relationship with her mother eased somewhat. They still argued sometimes, but she learned to state her own wishes more firmly. When her mother learned we were really together, she was silent for a long time. As long as you are happy. Somehow, Zhao Zihao heard that we were really together. He sent me a message, you win, kid. Then he blocked me. Life gradually settled into place. Su Qing found a job at a consulting firm. It was different from her old position as chief executive, but she threw herself into it. I became a supervisor in administration too. I still could not afford a huge villa, but I could buy fried chicken whenever I wanted. One evening, we were stargazing on the balcony. She suddenly asked me, Jiang Chi, do you remember the first time we held hands? I remember. At the park. I was thinking then, why were this guy's palms so sweaty? I was nervous. It was my first time holding a female chief executive's hand. I was afraid you'd dock my pay if I did a bad job. She laughed and punched my arm lightly. What about our first kiss? That staged kiss backstage? I was so nervous I nearly had a heart attack. I could tell. Starlight flickered across her face. Jiang Chi, yeah. Thank you for finding me back then. You are welcome. I held her closer. Just do not disappear on me again. I will not. She leaned against my shoulder, her voice soft. With you here, I am not going anywhere. This is my life. A year later, we moved into a bigger apartment and got a cat. Su Qing's career flourished. Her consulting projects helped many companies. I had found my footing at work too. Financial freedom was still a long way off, but we were living a carefree life. One weekend, we went back to stroll around outside the company building. The Starbucks had been renovated. The cafeteria's fried chicken drumsticks still tasted the same. The park bench was still there. The tree with the monkey had grown taller. We sat on the bench, just like we had when rehearsing our scenes. Time flies, Su Qing said wistfully. It does. It has already been a year. She turned to look at me, her eyes crinkling with a smile. Do you think what we have now is the best ending we could have after stepping out of that script. I took her hand. Her hand was warm now. This is not an ending. It is a beginning. A real one. A life that belongs to Jiang Chi and Su Qing has only just begun. Sunlight streamed through gaps in the leaves, scattering dappled light across her face. I looked at her. She looked at me too. Her smile was clear and warm. The lively sound of children laughing drifted from afar. The future looked bright, and our story,